A bride.
My son and Brenda are married.
A double wide.
I made the down payment on this mobile home.
And a husband denied.
I was locked out.
I have police reports with a current warrant for her arrest, possession of drugs.
That's not true. I even have a copy.
I do too, where I've circled drugs. Woo, this gonna be a long one if I can't get the truth.
Now on Judge Mathis.
Troubled kids, I was one. Gangs, jail, I was there. Second chances, I got one. Went to law school, became a lawyer, and then a judge. Now, I get to give second chances. In my courtroom, the disputes are real, the cases are real. It's time for hard decisions and tough love. Justice that makes a difference. That's what I'm about.
Plaintiff Connie Cross and her son Jason say after Jason married the defendant, Connie loaned them money to buy a home. 3 days after moving in, Jason claims the defendant kicked him out. And now his wife has a warrant against her for providing drugs and alcohol to minors. Connie's suing her today for an unpaid loan. Defendant Brenda Wire admits she allowed 2 drunk kids to come into her home, but insists it was only to keep them from driving. Brenda claims Jason was the one who abandoned her 3 days after they moved in together, and now he and his mother refuse to return her property, so she's countersuing.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you, ma'am.
Okay, Jason, my son, and Brenda are still married. The mobile home that I purchased
You
and gave them a
mobile
loan.
home for whom, ma'am?
The 2 of them, Jason and Brenda.
As
They're
a
married.
gift?
No, as a loan. I made the down payment,
Okay. How much did you put down?
$1,890.
And what was the agreement on repayment?
August 10th, I would be paid in full.
Okay. State your name.
Jason?
All right. Is this what happened?
Yes, sir.
You and your wife agreed to repay your mother.
Yes, sir, we did.
All right. Why didn't you all repay her?
I was locked out after the 3rd day of moving in. I was
By
kicked
your-
out. Yes, sir.
Oh,
No, that's
okay.
not true, Your Honor.
And
All right.
yes, Your Honor, it is because I
How
have
long have
police
you all been
reports.
married?
From May to early August, May 20th to early August.
So a few months after marrying
Yes, sir.
her, she
Yes, sir.
locked you out.
Yes, sir.
I know you said, what did I do? What did I get myself
Oh, boy,
into?
yes, sir, I did. Yes,
I
sir,
have-
did.
See, I went from I do to what have I done?
Right, exactly. Yes, sir.
All right.
Each-
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Each time he's tried to go over or do anything, she calls the police. I have police reports with a current warrant for her arrest.
What is?
No, that's-
what
that's
does she
not
have a
true.
warrant for her arrest for?
Well, I have it here. It's on minors in possession
That's
of
wrong.
drugs and
That's wrong.
Well,
What
it's from the
occurred?
Kalamazoo County Police Department. If you
Let me have that. But that has nothing to do with this case, or
Well, they
does
said
it
that-
happen inside the
in
mobile home?
my property, on my property, and
Oh.
they told me it could be seized if
No,
Oh.
that's not true.
What's not true?
That her property can be seized. This has already been taken care of. No, by the
So
police
you
department.
you do have a warrant on
Yes,
you?
I do. Yes, and I
For-
talked to them
for
yesterday.
drugs?
No,
and
no,
minors?
no,
For
because I
what?
had 2 minors that came over to my house that were drunk, and they were out driving around in their car. I said, instead of, because one of them babysits for me, I said, instead of you being out driving around, I want you to stay here.
None of it has to do with drugs, to your knowledge.
No,
huh?
it does not.
Really?
I even have a copy of what was given
I do
to me.
too. Maybe we have different copies.
I
Hand her
guess
this
so.
one where I've circled drugs.
Yeah, I want to see that one.
Yeah. See it?
I don't have this one. The
I
only one
know.
I have is
But
one
do you
from
see
the
it
sheriff's
now?
department. Yeah, but I
All
don't
right.
have
You
drugs.
see your name?
Yes, I do.
All right. So you got a warrant on you for drugs too, on this woman's property.
It's my property.
Oh, it's in your name? So
Yes.
they had it in their name, ma'am?
no receipts. I have every single solitary
I have the
dime
title.
paid
I
for.
have the
Doesn't matter.
lease.
You
I know,
didn't
just
buy
like you
them.
didn't have a warrant for drugs.
No,
Let me look. I like to read because I see right now you're going to tell me anything. Ma'am, you have something showing that you are the owner of
I certainly do. The reason I could not be put on this alone, on this title, is because you have to occupy the residency.
All right.
So
So you are partial owner, I see. She has a title too. Does that have her name? So that circle, you see her name. See that circle? Has her name on it with you.
Yeah, I have the same thing.
Gotcha. All right. You do have the same thing? Mm-hmm. So you're just playing crazy.
No.
You told me her name wasn't on it. You told me she had no
that's not
ownership
what I
in
said.
it, ma'am. You're joint owners.
Yes.
Well, a minute ago, you denied she was the owner of it at all. Woo, this is going to be a long one if I can't get the truth. Go ahead, ma'am. You loaned the two of them the money for the down payment.
Correct.
And they agreed to repay you. You're choosing to sue her, although you could sue both. You're choosing to sue her because she's not your son.
Because
Gotcha.
he's not living there. He's
Right.
He's not there. Money is a big issue, and I want to tell you why, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quadriplegic son at home on life support. It takes an awful lot of money to do that. I did this to help these two, so they could get on their own. I cannot afford to do this.
Gotcha.
I was to be paid back.
All right, let me hear your side.
Okay, 3 days after we moved into this trailer, Jason and I got into an argument about my daughter. She is 6 years old. She had a temperature of like 104 for 4 days. I asked him, my car was out in another city. It was broke down. I said, can you please go get your mom's car? He said, no, I want to take a nap, you know. He left me, abandoned me.
Brenda, this is a lie. You could have
That's not
called.
true.
You
That's
could have
I have
called. You called
I
us
have
later
called
from the phone.
100
You found the
times.
phone.
Did you change the locks or something?
You found
No,
the phone.
she
Yes.
came into my home and changed the locks when I was gone. I
with
come
her
home and
knowledge
she's
of doing
standing
that.
there
You
in
still
my
live
home.
there now?
Yes, I do.
She knew that.
You got back in then.
Yeah, because
I gave her
police
the
had-
All right.
Please.
So did you lock him out, though?
No,
Yes,
I did
yes.
not.
There's
He
a
has
police
never been
report
locked
saying
Yes,
that.
out.
there's a police.
Never.
You
There's a
have
police
the
Does he
police
have a
report.
key?
Yeah, he has a key.
No, sir, I don't.
And there's a police report.
Did
saying-
she change the
me-
locks?
No, sir. She locked me out, and the police told me.
How? Without changing the locks, did she
I never
lock
had a
you
key.
out?
I was only there for 3 days,
And you
maybe
didn't have
two and a
a
half
key?
days. No, sir, I was there for the majority of the time. I never needed
No, he
one.
was
and,
never there.
And I never needed a key. I was
Never
there.
needed a key to your own house? You
Not
didn't
at that
work?
time.
You didn't go to work?
No, sir, I received workman's comp.
So you just laid around the house for 3 days straight?
No, I was recovering from surgery.
Oh, okay. You had just had
That's
surgery.
not
Yes,
true.
sir.
And so you didn't think you would need a key because you were never going to leave?
Not at that. It didn't
You
cross
were
my mind
going
at
to
that
drink
that
beer
time.
and watch TV
No,
in the
sir.
trailer for the rest of your life?
No, sir, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and no, I don't
When
drink.
did you intend to get a key? I'm just curious. To your own house?
Soon.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. In any event, ma'am, he says he did lock him out because he never got a key. That's not lockout, by the way. That's trifling. I mean, you should have went and gotten a key. Why shouldn't you pay the loan?
Her and Jason both have a ton of my property. They have televisions. There's a list of property.
Your
How did
Honor,
that
you have
occur?
a police report that
Why?
says...
How did that occur? That's your counterclaim.
When we were in the process of moving is when my daughter got sick. So instead of me getting up and leaving, he was out riding his motorcycle and doing whatever he wanted to do.
Be quiet now. You don't want workman's comp to find out. Shh, we won't tell anybody.
My daughter got sick. She was sick the day
Ma'am,
we
let's
started
stay
moving.
away from that. I feel sorry. God
Okay.
bless her. I hope
well,
she's
we
better.
didn't get to go
Let's
get the
talk
rest of the
about
stuff. He
whether
still
you-
got my property. I shouldn't have to pay for
don't-
this
I don't
because
have
he
anything.
is the provider and the protector of his family. He abandoned me,
Gotcha.
an unborn
That's
child.
incorrect, sir.
I do
That's
not have an
incorrect.
income.
That's your defense?
Yes.
All right. Now let's get to your counterclaim for the belongings that you're suing her for.
Okay. I
What
just want the
belongings?
belongings back.
How did she get them?
They were still there. Jason and I lived on her property
Mm-hmm.
before we moved into this trailer. There is a ton of property of mine that was there before him and I got married. We
It
lived
was
together.
where?
It was at her house because we lived together before
And
we
it's
were
still
married.
there?
That's
Yes,
sir,
it
it's
is.
not.
How
That's
has she
true.
prevented you from
You've
getting
left
it?
it all over the
Quiet. How did she prevent you from getting it?
Because the police went with me. They said I could have my clothing. They
No.
said-
Why did you have to get the police in the first place?
Because she wouldn't let me come back to her home to get it.
That's
Jason
what I need
left.
you to tell me.
Jason
The
left.
first time you tried to come and get your things, what occurred?
I was allowed to get my clothing. That was it. I wasn't allowed
Why?
to get any more because Jason said, nope, you're getting no more. The police department called him, asked him if I could come over and get the rest of my stuff. And he said, no, she's got what she's going to get, and that's it, and we'll settle it in divorce court. That's it.
Did you ever go back after that?
No.
All right. And what items are you suing for that you
There's a list. I'm
claim
sorry.
they're withholding? What do you want to tell me about withholding her belongings?
Sir, the police. There's a police report. up
Show
there.
it to me. He says there's a police report, ma'am, that shows that what, sir? What is the police report going to show?
That she was allowed to come into the property and get what she needed.
With the police?
Yes, sir.
Is that true?
Yes, and it was my clothing.
I
They
thought you said you
told
never
me I
went
could
back.
only get my clothing because the rest of it was joint marital property.
And they were probably right, because the property you're asking for, all right, cabinets,
Television, computer.
Correct. That's joint marital property. They told you right. You all filed for divorce yet?
Nope, but he keeps telling me he has,
Well,
but
you don't
he's yet
intend
to do
to.
that.
Well, you didn't file either?
I can't afford it.
Sir, she says that you're withholding property. You say you're not. This issue, ma'am, is something, as the police told you, must be taken up in divorce court. This is joint property, all the things you list, joint marital property. With regard to her loan, however, you all have not paid her. Your defense in this lawsuit is that you can't afford to repay her because your husband has abandoned you. I suggest you sue for immediate temporary assistance from your husband. That's what women have to do if they're abandoned and can't afford to pursue a divorce. Go also to child support enforcement. They can arrange for you to get emergency support pending the divorce as well. So that's what you're going to have to do to get money out of your husband. But however, she has chosen to sue only you, and that's her prerogative. That's what happens when you get involved in getting money from your relatives or your in-laws. They usually just come after the outlaw. And today that would be you, so I must order you to pay $1,890, and I must dismiss your claim for personal property because it's joint marital property, and that's something that must be resolved in a divorce. Good luck to you, and you better stay off those motorcycles on workman's comp. Good luck. Judgment to the plaintiff.
Jason brought his mother and his sister into my home and without permission lets her assault me.
You heard the judge.
Assaults me with burning candles, burns me, my 8-year-old son.
When do you fail to appear
You
for
know
that?
what?
You failed
Shut
to
up.
appear. You failed
Shut
to,
up. I
you
failed to appear so
appear.
she wouldn't go to jail.
Right. The
Okay.
judge didn't issue
I'm done.
a warrant.
I'm done. I'm done.
You are done.
Yeah, I am
Totally.
done. File for
Totally
divorce, Jason. There's a man who's actually stepped up.